How are we doing, shipmates? Just let everything catch up. There we go. I think it's doing it now. Yarg. How goes it? Right. Good evening. I'm sure people will catch up as we go along. Tonight's live stream stars Age of Chivalry Warriors. Bows. Foot. £16 for 8 miniatures. They're metal ones from Saga. They're from the Ahoy Captain. These have been put into Saga boxes now, but they're the front rank sculpts. How goes it, my friend? So they're really nice. Now, we've done live stream with these guys before, but with the launch of ecorcheurs, however Dr. Bob tells me to pronounce it, I thought I'd do some 100-Year War stuff, because I've got some more 100-Year War stuff to do videos on as well. But I thought I'd do these guys. And so we could have a look at some of the speed paint pens again, which have been my thing this week. So there we go. That's where we are at the moment. So we're going to start off by laying down some skiing. Yeah, so it's been a bit sorry I missed last week. I had a last minute rush. Dog's just come to visit me. Evening, shipmates. Yeah, sorry about missing last week. I had it ready to go and I'm in an RM because I had to go to drive to Gatwick and I wasn't sure I'd make it back in time. As it was, I wouldn't have. So good to call me. Yeah, it would have been a bit difficult to do the paint along whilst driving. Probably not a good idea. So we just start with moonstone skin. I'm just going to lay some flesh in. If you guys just missed it, this is tonight's target. Age of Chivalry Warriors is the front rank stuff that's been put into the Saga thing, but we're going to use these for ecorcheurs. Yeah, it'd have been a bit, yeah, Crash Along would have not been great, would it? Yeah, sure, I'll pick you up from the airport, not a problem. What time is your flight in? 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Okay, then. It wasn't too bad getting there, but it was the getting back bit with fighting all the traffic coming out of London in. The Exodus. Oh, did I do all right? Good evening, Dr. Bob. Ecorcheurs. Is it Shah on the end? You did write a really nice pronunciation thing, which I read and then hastily forgot. as us pirates do. Congratulations on the Kickstarter, Dr. Bob. I hope I said ecorcheurs. Ecor. We'll get this right. Let's say it lots. Ecorcheurs. Aye, aye, Captain. Ecorcheurs. Yes, true. This is very, very true. So I thought I would, yeah, as I said, do some of these guys up ready for my retinues. I've had a parcel from the Beastie Boys with the sample retinues that are on the Kickstarter for the French and the English. And I'm going to do some videos over the next few days, hopefully, of getting them ready for Partisan. I'll bring them to the table at Partisan. Good evening. Yeah, was it 90 minutes, wasn't it, to get funded? How long does the Kickstarter run for? Long? Is it a week? Is it just a few days? Or I don't know. No, I wasn't surprised at all, Rob. You've worked really hard on it. I've seen it going at shows. You know, you've put the groundwork in. Fair play to you, mate. People know a good rule set when they see one. There's been enough demo games. Fair play to you. Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, so if you're watching this tomorrow, or if you're watching this now, and you haven't been to Kickstarter and hit a pledge for ecorcheurs, if you can find a link on the Griffin Beast website, I believe. If not, I'll put one up on the Pirate Rich Paints media as well, or you could look it up on all sorts of places. But anywho's, you've got 2 weeks, and I think you get an exclusive scenario, don't you? On the Kickstarter. Which is Neo. So obviously don't go and click it yet, because obviously you watch me. But as soon as I'm finished, jump onto Kickstarter, go and pledge. Combat the 30. Have you mentioned that to Dylan? Nice. Yeah, I can see that. I've watched. We see that in the modern day ones where they're just lumping crap out with blunt weapons, isn't it? So I should imagine the temptation was even greater back then. It's every pub car park on a Saturday night, isn't it? Making it sound very glamorous. So yeah, we're gonna lay this flesh down. I'm gonna show. We're gonna try and add some of these speed paint pens into the workflow, because have you seen the videos I've done so far with I've been using the kind of dark age picks and it's the, as we know, the speed paints are very bright anyway, and I thought, I think the speed paint pens will be excellent for painting these 100-year war guys. Just a sort of a get them on the table quick thing, if that's your bag. And, yeah. I won't say too much more until we get them going, and we can talk through, and you can. Has anybody else snagged any yet? I don't think they're official release dates yet. So just as ever, we're adding a bit of medium to our base flesh just so it runs on nice. I do like these front rank miniatures, there's so much. As I said it before, is when you're painting nice miniatures, it's very hard to go wrong. Because the sculpture's done most of the work for you, like. So, how's everyone been this week? You've been busy, I know Dr. Bob's been busy kickstarting. Okay, so first up, let's grab polished silver, which is a bit shinier than I usually use, but it's going to be a bit boring if I don't use it in it. I think it's only question whether how long would they dry out. I've not noticed any yet. As I said, it's not been that long. I was storing them up that way. Yeah, they are quite a chunk. Ahoy, Ben. I hit that with a bit of gold. Yeah, I was storing them that way up in a tub, but it said nib down's probably better, so I've swapped them over. I noticed there was a bit of condensation forming in the caps when I had them up the other way. I personally think they're not probably for my workflow, but saying that, they are quite fun to use. So if you want to have a bit of fun, get yourself some. Try them out. I bought the start set, which has got 10 in it. But I was just interested to see how the colour sits. These 100-Year War guys. Nice. What is interesting, we did a video with a friend of ours the other day. Bless Rachel, she came over and she's never, I thought it'd be interesting to get somebody who's never painted a miniature before to see a first sort of time reaction. So I've got that video is uploaded, which is quite a good way to look at these, really. It's like everything. I think if you're looking for a one-piece solution, that it's not these, but she did do very, very well. I mean, she painted 2 miniatures in 40 minutes on camera. So you got to say that's like, because you're talking and stuff, you're not fully concentrating. So I reckon she'd have probably got both of them done in sort of half hour. So 15 minutes to paint miniature. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said to Darren earlier that for youngsters, so I could see someone that maybe at a show doing a painting table, get some of these on it, and having a bit of fun because they are fun. You're going to overshoot with paint, etc., but you do that first anyway. But in one respect, I'd want someone to know how to paint first, then play with these. But certainly, yeah, it's quite a good one. I did the unboxing one of just what's in the box. Is a short one, so I put it on Pirate Rich Plays. That's just showing you what colours you get in the starter box. But you don't do a bad job with the metal. So this polished silver is a little bit brighter than what I usually use, but I think I pressed too hard on the nibs onto the miniature when I first started, and I splayed some of them out a little premature. I think they're going to do that anyway. I think if you're careful with them, they'll last longer. They come with spare nibs. when these ones bugger up, which is nice. And I've noticed that you can actually unscrew the screw. You can actually unscrew that bit, so potentially you could fill them back up, which I haven't tried yet. But I should imagine will be very messy, and you'd have to question how messy do you want to get to do it. I believe there's about half as much speed paint in these as you get in a squeezy bottle, so it might be worthwhile doing. But how much you'd lose while attempting to do it, I would not like to. Yeah, so there we go. So I think as well, using just one layer of them is, when I use the speed paint, I like to layer it on quite thick, which is hard to do with these. Sometimes you have to go back and do a double layer. Let's do a bit more while I slurpee my coffee. Yeah, I think you probably, from what Coop said there, when you paint your first miniature, it goes everywhere, doesn't it? So I suppose it's a little bit more controllable with these because we're used to using pens. So I'm going to tone these down a bit. Don't be scared. This one is Speed Paint 2's green skin, I think. Orc skin. I just thought I'd use some of these bad boys. See if it speeded us up a bit. It's about speeding up and still having a decent outcome in it. That's what we kind of work on week in, week out here. Is, you know, you want the miniatures painted, you want them on the table, but you still kind of want them looking good. Now, of the it says to use speed paint over white undercoat, but I'm using these over a Xenophil, which I found with speed paints. It just takes a little bit of the zing out of them. If you compare this colour with the ones in the other videos. I get a Viking. I'd done a plastic Viking the other day, and I thought I'll make this as good as I can using these pens. So I'll get one of those out in a minute. Let's have a bit of green on all this. Let's have a green team. And it's a bit wargamey, Rob, sorry. I kind of mix them up anyway when I put them with the others. Yeah, it's quite bright. You can have one. Ahoy! We've got your favourite pens out. Thank you for doing the video the other day. I've just sort of doxed you there, sorry. That was mean. Just they were just saying how well you'd done. Let's just sort his face out. I've got some green on there. Okay. Ah. What campaign's that, my friend? No, I think everyone was very impressed by your penmanship, as it were. I think they would definitely help get ecorcheurs, 100-Year War guys on the table quick. If you don't like them this bright, you can tone them down. And I am being naughty by putting, although if they're all the same kind of from the same retinue, lordship, I don't know what's the correct word, Dr. Bob, if you're still there. Oh, nice. I think so, because they are very much fun and they're very instant. There's no messing about. I say at a show, I'd expect to see these utilised at shows to. Yeah, I think my only thing was I'd want my kids to learn how to paint with a brush maybe first, but definitely younger kids. What do you do with the untextured area under a coat? Sorry, I'm kind of not sure what you mean, Andy. just do this green. Or like kind of there. Depends if they've got sleeves or not. Doesn't it? Right, whilst that's drying, let's do some what up under there. I just leave it. When I spray, I make sure I spray black under there, and I just leave it. If it's bigger, more like singular miniatures, like big showpieces, I'll actually paint under there as well if I can get it. I don't think very often somebody's going to grab the miniature off the table, look at the nice paint job, and then go, "Oh no, it doesn't." Right, we're just going to chuck some Crusader skin on as our flesh tone. See the crappy up brush. Make sure you use a rubbish brush, because speed paint 2 zips up inside your brush, it kills it. But you can already see the metallic's nice. So there we go. Lay this down, and we're going to let that dry, and we'll just hit that with another highlight. Just the other, I mean, we were using this the other day, Rach, we were using this straight onto the undercoat, so it's a bit different. We're using it as a bit of a wash today. So we're going to go back into it, make it look sexier. No, you. If you don't ask him, if you don't know. I love it because it makes me think about what I'm doing as well. The day we stop asking questions is the day we should give up. Every day is a school day. Especially on the history front, I've probably learned far more about history since I left school than I did when I was at school, because that's what you do when you're interested in something, isn't you? Very, very, very true. That's the one thing you can't really do with those pens, is see, as I'm loading that speed paint on there to get it to really puddle. Obviously you can't do that with a pen, so you have to keep going over and over and over and over again. There's enough in there to get it to work. So if you like the speed paints, I don't know, perhaps you'd just be better off with speed paints. I think so. Not that I'm dissing the pens, because they are good fun. I think I would rather have them in pots if I was going to have them at all. I think they're worth having. The speed paints. There we go, the pens are probably worth having. It's just like, I think they're I'm not sure their usefulness personally. Yes, they are fatties. Next we're going to do is we're going to get the black wash out, and we're going to hit over the metal. It should be dry enough, but if not, we'll stop and come back to it in a minute. Yeah. Where you know if it's too early, if that when you first put it on, just check your brush. If there's lots of metallic flakes in it, you're lifting the paint off. So just stop, let it over a bit longer. I think it's weird how, when it's not forced down your neck, how interesting things become, isn't it? I'm just gonna, obviously this is my watered down black wash. It's not actually Known oil. It's just Known oil pot is actually black ink, mostly with my matte medium. As you can tell, it's quite wishy-washy rather than a strong one. If I need a strong one, I tend to use the Army Painter dark tone. This is more of a grey look. I'd put loads on it there. If you just I think it's programs like that good, aren't they? Because if you want to learn more about one thing, you can then go deeper. So to have a sort of overview of something's pretty cool, isn't it? So that's for speeding me up. I don't know. We're 38 minutes in, so we shall see. What else has been going this week? Oh yeah, done the my Webby site. We've done a end of summer season sale where I've reduced every item on my website. Just so I have to paint some more over the winter. So I have to go crazy. Yes, some of them are 50% off or more. It's like I'm a DFS sales, isn't it? So did you put your miniatures on your shelf, Rach, on your work station? Pride Place. one, shall we? Let's do hardened leather. Now this one I think is quite interesting. It's almost like our secret weapon in pen form. So I kind of like it, but it's kind of harder to control, obviously. I think the problem for me is I use my brush in day in, day out for so many hours. It's almost like such a foreign object for me to be using this. Yeah, I think you're right, it would get you in there, but I think the longevity of the nib would be an issue. I think maybe just using this on areas where you could get in there with. It does quite a nice job. I think it's like anything. I think you're going to find areas you're going to use it on. And it's going to work for you. Yeah, can you hear him snoring? He's just stopped again. He's a mere amateur at snoring compared to Spike, the snoring Stavvy. There's a neighbour's baby dog sitting, so yeah, woofing away in the background. I think I hit all their boots with this. He dreamed in motorcycle. Yeah, so I'd advise maybe getting either this as a speed paint 2 or our Vallejo is pretty much the same as our Vallejo air colour. Probably do the hair quite well as well. There we go. That green's dried off quite nice now. Nope. That's enough. That's right, the next door neighbour's moving the bin. No. That's enough. No. Sit down. Excuse me a minute, guys. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. It's alright. Take. That's... Oh. Don't get to mummy. Somebody's dragging a bin or something around outside and it's making him bark. Sit down then. Sorry about that, guys. And the overzealous guard dog. It's okay. You lay down then. Lay down. Down. From the dangerous bin that was probably being dragged around outside. If they carry on doing it, I'll have to send him downstairs. That's enough. No. No. Wait. Tank. Go lay down. Go on. Lay down. Go on. Oh dear. Sorry about that, guys. It's fine. Nice. Bonsoir. Very well. That's enough. Come on. Right, I'm going to get rid of the dog. Hang on a second, because he's just not going to sell. Come on. This way. Come on. Come. Come on. There we go. Get to mummy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Fine. Come on. I don't know what people are doing out front. There's lots of noise going on. Yeah. Sorry about that. There's people moving about bins and stuff out there and he doesn't like it. What's that? Right. He's now gone downstairs to protect his mum. I think once he heard the first thing, he was then listening for anything. Yeah, I hope you all feel ultra safe. So I'll swap. I'll do some more of this. These are just the. Where was I? Lost my flow now because I'm trying to sort the dog out. What game did you buy? Is it Tadeus? I'm not sure how to explain that. Extadus. Nice. Yeah, we've just been playing around with these new speed paint markers this week, so I thought I'd add them into this Friday night paint along just to see if they helped at all. The other day we did the view from Rachel, who had never painted before. And now we're going to see what I can do with them. Somebody has painted a few miniatures. Maladum. Oh, I'm not seeing that. All right. Cool. I'll have a look. I'll have a look at it when I get offline. Mm. I think that's always a good start for a game. All right, cool. So is it a board game, or is it more of a role? There's a lot that are in between a role-playing game and a war game now, isn't there? Oh, sorry. Yeah. These are from Griffin Beast. These are from their front rank range. So they go with their game Saga, but we're actually painting these ones up for a new game called Ecorcheurs, which is on the Kickstarter at the moment. If you check out Griffin Beast's website, or even my Facebook page, I think it's on my Facebook page, Pirate Rich Paints, you'll find a link somewhere on there. And there's an active Kickstarter for the next 2 weeks. And ecorcheurs is a skirmish game set in the 100-Year War. And it's got some pretty unique views on the battle. You don't really have, even though I'm painting all these archers, you don't have like a unit of archers, a unit of this. You have a retinue, and you control people from the retinue. Very interesting. So we just oh right, okay. I will have to take a look. Maladum. I shall write that down in a sec. Because I always have a look at these things when I... Cheers, Rach, and thank you for your video. Thank you for starring in your own video. Yeah, we got them last week. We've done a few videos of them. So we've done ones where we've just predominantly used them. And I thought tonight I'd just add them in because they're kind of a new thing to people that are kind of used to seeing me paint a certain way. And we get feedback as we go along. And they're okay. They're fun. So we did the greens from the marker pens, the metallics from the marker pens, the level works. So we are getting quite away with them. The yellow is very bright. I won't do the yellow. Let's do some proper painting. Should we have a blue with that green? It's a bit obvious to use the yellow in it. So this is Imperial Navy from War Paints Fanatic. Mix some medium in there. I'll tell you what we could do is Fanatic acrylic's very good. Yeah, you won't go far wrong. I use let's carry on using the pens from it because that's basically a speed paint too. So you can see what we're doing. Let's see how nice we can. Well, now it's only his cats making strange noises, which will probably calm the dog down no end. And I'd just say the Fanatics are very good. They do need slight thinning. They come out the pots a little bit thick. Your coverage will be better if you thin them a little bit. What's going on out there tonight? You've got cats kicking off now. Or this. They're just cork stuck onto a... Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, they're just corks with a bit of blue tack on them. You can buy GW do that sort of thing. They're like £6 each for a cork with a bit of tack on it. And I just put these or coins on the bottom. I use old paint pots. That works just as well. Some people cut a broom handle up into this length, put the sticky tack on them. Some people don't use blue tack, some people use caulk, you know, wall caulk. I'll go back over and just put a bit more once we get like a, there we go. Do one more with a blue. So I'll start mixing them up a bit now, because we've got the green to tie them all in together. So I just thought I'd just use a couple of the pens just to oh, nice. Have you enjoyed that? She passed away some time ago, so don't forget to wipe. Well, if you correct me, your best bet, if you can't, sometimes what you do is just wash your brush out, get a bit of the water and just wash it off. Let's show you. So I'm going to put this bit of blue on by mistake. Oh, I don't want that blue. Wash your brush out. Leave some water in there. Get lots of water on there. Wash your brush out, dry it. That's no problem. There we go. So that's what you do with that. If you can't do that, just let the blue dry and then just paint over it. That's your other way. Fanatic paints all cover really, really well, so it's not an issue. So let's do we're going to do the bows with prairie ochre, which is like a yellowy brown. I'm just going to water that back. It's nice and thin. just keep that medium going into the paint so it's nice and loose. I'll just cover our undercoat better. That's a big thing. The new painter is getting your undercoat right. The undercoat we've used on these is for an airbrush. It's the Vallejo black with a Vallejo grey over the top. On myself, or I paint all the time. It's my job. This is just I was asked from Griffin Beast if I could do a sort of paint-along videos to help their customers get through their lead piles, as it were. Yeah, if you check out the find us on social media, or my website is richthepirate.square.site. Oh, what's it called? God, I've got it written down, but I give the card away. Square.site. richthepirate.square.site. I think something like that. There's links from X and Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff. Oh, no problem. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Honestly, there's no offence taken, mate. See, the Brits, we mainly know Belgium from Poirot. And the fact that Poirot hates being called French because he's Belgian. Which is just about it, really. I've got nothing else to say. Sorry. That's as far as I could take that convo. But yeah, so yeah, if you check out the Griffin Beast website, and scroll all the way down, you'll find me at the bottom there somewhere as Pirate Rich Paints, and I paint a lot of their miniatures for their website and books. There we go. Now, usually he has a second finger, but this is a slight miscast, which they did pick up, but I said don't worry about it. But if you get yours and one of those fingers is missing, let them know. So they were gonna replace it, but I said that's all right. I think it's pretty much a bit of an old wives' tale about the two fingers anyway. I think it was made up a lot later by Victorians, probably being all romantic about. All right. Is that Kewanee County? Cool. Not as widely spaced as the ones at Area 51, though. I think we've spoken before, Ultra, haven't we? Was it like 40k stuff you were doing, or have I got you mixed with someone else? Just one guy. What was the other one? Oh god, I can't remember. I've been asleep since then. My brain's switched off. Ah, right, that's it. It must be somebody else I was chatting to. A while back. Have you seen the Mordheim sort of style figures that Griffin Beast have got? I think they're called the Brotherhood, or they're the Sargrage Magic ones. They're slightly smaller than the official, but I think one of the sculptors that did Mordheim did them for him. Yeah, night, buddy. Thanks for popping in. I think they're in the Age of Magic section. You paid some for one of my customers that's into Mordheim. Yeah, have a good day tomorrow, dude. I'll be trying to put some more short videos up, sort of how to do this, how to do that one. So I'll be planning on doing. Just hitting this over. So we're now in, like, hour and 15 in. So, what, 8 miniatures. So, yeah, it's going pretty rapidly. Yeah, they're good. I can't remember the name of the sculptor. I'm not sure if it says on there or not, but he was one of the guys involved in Mordheim, and yeah, they're good for Mordheim, allegedly. But I say they're slightly smaller, but he didn't see that as a problem. So very cool miniatures. The leader's very good with the eye patch. I think if you go back through the videos on the site a while back when they first brought them out, I think I did a paint along with them as well. I think it's true of anything though, isn't it? If you look through miniatures, there's pretty much everything you need out there now, isn't there? A bit of imagination, you can make stuff work. That's what I think is so good now. You've got so many rule sets that you don't have to buy the exact miniatures for. Yeah. So you certainly see really how using the speed paints could get you to tabletop standards a lot quicker. If you just use just them, though, I think you'll end up with a bit of a patchy looking miniature. Whereas certain areas, if you use them just to speed yourself up, I noticed that you can go back in and work the area again with the speed paints or with ornament paint. I'll show you the screen in a minute. When we put it on, it was really bright, wasn't it? But now it's dried. It's giving us some nice, cool kind of shading, really, without too many weird blends, which is kind of cool. If you want it to look a bit darker, you can just put a green wash on it. Yeah, these are from the Age of Chivalry. They've just started reworking the front rank miniatures. These are that they bought out, but they're boxing them up. That's the code for this set. Age of Chivalry Warrior Bows. I mean, £2 a miniature for a metal miniature. That's about going rate now. fact, I know some companies that charge more, so it's a fair price. But I was painting these up for the new game, ecorcheurs. I'll get the hang of that eventually. But it's on a Kickstarter at the moment. If you look, if you're on the Grip and Beast site and you saw the there's an advert on there for the Kickstarter, which is went live yesterday, I believe. And it funded in 90 minutes, which is kind of pretty cool. Right, so we're going to do some white. So we're going to start with, let's start with ancients. Let's go. Let's do the greys. So we'll start with Great Hall Grey, which is like a warm grey white. The ecorcheurs is the new, it's like a skirmish game. But it's very scenario driven. And I've got the, if you look onto the Kickstarter, there's a couple of sample retinues. I've got those ready to do some videos on this week. So in fairness, if you've got this the Age of Chivalry stuff already, you're going to have enough miniatures really. Well, depending on what scenario you're playing. Just added a bit of medium. Get much better coverage with these paints if they're a little bit watered down, which seems kind of opposite to where you think would happen. You think thicker it will be better, but no. But no. There we go. Use this, put the base in the fletching as well. Just keep it moving. Yeah, I like the Age of Chivalry, but it's good. My personal favourite on the saga is the Age of Magic. Yeah. Yeah. I do like just. I wasn't sure at first because it's like a very different take on the fantasy bit, isn't it? So it's kind of. I was kind of expecting to have like an orc warband and this warband and that warband, but when they give just the kind of the first in Saga 1, they spent a long time playtesting each universe again as they kind of brought more of them out, and I think by the time they got to like the third book or whatever, it was like quite clear that it was impossible to balance them. So they don't tend to be balanced from book to book. Um, but I don't see as a I'm not really too worried about whether they're balanced. Whether you can have a good game. It's one of the things I like the Age of Magic, because I mean, if you want to put your Vikings in there, you can just use the Horde board. If you know what I mean. So I know it's not very historical, but yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is you can play anything against anything you like, but whether you'll get a balanced game. But I think if you use the yeah, I'm all over that sort of thing, but um, that's why I use the more like Age of Magic, because it's like really you're just using there's no sort of specific rules for, but you can make your own up, and I kind of like that. I mean, all the fantasy ones are slightly overpowered to the rest. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird that it's the Age of Alexander, isn't it? So you've got the flanks and the elephants and stuff like that in it, but it always looks a bit weird to me having like um, pike warriors and there only being 8 of them. And why you just run around the edge of them and hit them over the head. So it's a bit like Spartans, isn't it? They fight best if they're in a nice big block of them. Whereas you can picture a skirmish game with some hairy, loony Vikings running around, and you know, all right, you've got the shield wall thing going on, but they lend themselves to being a bit more skirmishy, don't they? I suppose it just goes down to how much you're prepared to kind of suspend your disbelief, isn't it? I suppose is the best way of putting it. And I've got friends that will, freak out if just one, they're proper rivet counters, and would freak out if historically these two would never have met. And I've got other guys who just don't care. But neither of them are right, because it's a game to be played, isn't it? Yog. Yeah, they kind of did that with was it the first edition Kings of War? They brought out Kings of War historical, and in there was like the table that they used um to balance everything else, if you know what I mean. So you could make up your own historical dice, because they kind of obviously didn't know. Well, the way they put it said they weren't the experts, which is kind of fair enough. But they were giving the mechanism to balance creating your own, if you know what I mean. But doing that does kind of end bringing out any more books than it, I suppose. As you said, you know, you can. I say you can technically use Age of Magic to play anything you like, because it's you can use the board. You can ditch magic if you like. I did see someone do a Spartan, well, not a Spartan particularly, but a Greek warband in that, and it had all the, for the monsters, it had all the like mythical beasts, like you had centaurs and minotaur, and that was quite a cool way to go with it. Yeah, these ones are Fanatic army painter. I've used the one I'm using at the moment is a Fanatic, and I've used some speed paint in the pens tonight, just because we've got them, and I was just showing people what they do. So the green, the blue, and the metals come out of the pens. Yeah, you gotta be careful. The one to keep on about is oh, they didn't tell me which one's coming out. I can't remember offhand. There was a second Age of Magic one coming out. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, there's supposed to be this. They've promised for years a samurai one. Well, I'm going to do some reds. I'm going to start with basilisk red, which is a very purpley. That's it. Age of Heroes. That's it. Leave that for a second. Let's start with red on him. Got some red on you. What did Caesar? Oh no, that was sword points than the Caesar one. This is going to be the base color for our reds. So we're just watering it down with a bit of matte medium. Yeah. Yeah. It's a bit of a pain, isn't it? I think you should take a look at the ecorcheurs. They're starting to look at other games as well, Griffin Beast, which is quite interesting. So there's a World War II one coming out. Of course, ecorcheurs, which is the 100 Years' War. It's quite interesting. Especially into like a story-driven games. The scenario drives everything in that. Okay. So 1 hour 40 you're into. Jugular, yeah, Jugular's cool. Basically, it's a very different gladiator game. It's card driven, so you do need a pack of cards each rather than dice. So basically, you start with a team of gladiators. You have 4 each, and depending on what card you get, it's a bit like playing Magic or that sort of thing with cards. Magic the Gathering kind of reminds me a bit of whilst you're playing. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And there's a great campaign thing in it. So you build your own sort of gladiator school. So it's not, it does kind of carry on. It's definitely if we're not sure what to do, let's grab that. Because I was expecting it to be like a, yeah, as far as I can. Yeah, Gladiator the Juggler game's good because, as I say, you can build your own school and it kind of carries on, and you've got like a nice campaign. system in it. Again, you get paper arena in the book, which is kind of cool. Pillage I've not played. I've painted some warbands up for somebody, and as far as I was told, and I don't know how true this is, I was told at one of the conventions I went to that the game's an older French game that's been redone, and I don't really know much about it. It's got very similar warband sizes to Saga. So make of that what you will. And apart from that, I don't know anything else. And what else we got going on? Yeah, that's about it really, I think. So we'll just get this. This is going to be the base colour for our red. These guys to be quite colourful. I'm not. There we go. Yeah, it's tricky. The shipping to and from America is very, very tricky at the moment, isn't it? For reasons we won't go into. But yeah, it certainly would be nicer to have stuff free flowing, wouldn't it? Castilians. I haven't. I've been really busy painting. Got commissions coming out my hoo-ha at the moment. I'm hoping to have like a month off over Christmas and just get some serious gaming time in. I've been promising a game with somebody that's probably listening to for about 2 years, and he wanted to beat up on my Picts with some nasty goths. Everyone knows goths are just depressed Vikings, aren't they? He must have gone. Otherwise, I'd have had a very rude response, I should imagine. It wouldn't be too rude because he's scared of my Pict warlord on his chariot. He's got. We're about an hour and 46 in, so we're not doing too bad. I'm going to use some black. I don't usually use black, but it's. I've noticed when I'm doing the 100-Year War stuff, it does give you a nice contrast, just with the bright colours. Really sharpens up the edges. So I'm going to unusually use some black. Right. It's been like some of these black leggings and stuff like that. Of course, when we used that pen earlier, it's going to really tighten it all up. Just keep that medium going in. If you're not sure what that is, if you're a newbie listening tomorrow, I use matte medium. You can get like a GW Lamia medium, or Army Painter do a matte medium, or I mix mine up. If you watch, there is a video, I've done a very short video about how I make my own. With a matte medium you can buy on Amazon. Other matte mediums are available. It's when I started to paint like more historical stuff, and I get this at shows as well, and people say, "Oh, it's too bright." And speaking to my friends at Blots Models, she's the lovely young lady, does lots of traditional dyeing of walls and stuff, using all just the actual methods and ingredients they used to make the colours back then, which is really kind of interesting. And yeah, they had some really bright colours, surprisingly. I mean, in fairness, I think some of them didn't last that way for long. But I think we, in the modern world, seem to think that we invented colour, a bit like the Wizard of Oz. Everything was really dark, and then all of a sudden, bing! That's not quite true. I keep meaning to have a day off and go back to Bath, and there's just on the other side of Bath to me, there's a castle called Farley Hungerford Castle, and their crypt has got some lovely paintings in there. And what struck me is, when I went there, is how bright they were. Yeah. They were painted all that time ago, and they're really bright. They were painted before America was America. Before America was invented, and they're still bright. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it has all faded away, but no. So it's been in the crypt and being the right conditions and stuff. But I shall try and visit there soon and get some photography. Put it on my webby site. I was at a wind show and somebody was giving me they're too bright. Yeah. Yeah, I was getting at the show, I was getting they're too bright. And I was trying to gently sort of say, well, you know, have you looked at how bright stuff was? Blah, blah, blah. And somebody just walked up to him and to my defense went, were you there? I looked at what? He's got a point. It's like, I think they were like Anglo-Saxons or something. And it's like, you were telling me they'd have had like very dull clothes and blah, 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 blah. And you said, were you there? I thought, good point. Until somebody that was there tells me otherwise, I shall make it up. And they're my miniatures, and I'll paint them how I like. And if my customers like the way I've painted, it's an even bigger bonus. But you're right, Cubes. The vessel with the pestle has a brew that is true. The chalice from the palace has the pestle with the poison. Strangely enough, I reckon a high percentage of wargamers get their history from Hollywood, unfortunately. Yeah, but they've smashed the chalice from the palace, so they've replaced it with the flagon with the dragon. Very good film. It's like all the films. think so. That seems to ring true. So some of those Hollywood films really screwed everything up, didn't it? It's very likely with Danny Kaye in it. It's a bit like the film The Vikings, isn't it? It's the sort of start of all Vikings wearing 80s heavy metal biker gear. Oh, blimey. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You might as well get your history from SpongeBob SquarePants, yeah. Which is actually, I think, is probably more historically accurate than most things. So I set you all off. I set you all off. I just have to say one word and let you go. Let the chat go. Braveheart. And away you go. Discuss. Brigadier Brown. It just saved me doing anything with the chat room for a little while. Oh, the fun we have. I was just looking at some of the I think I've got most of it the other brand, but I noticed his belt's not. I was going to do it black, and I thought I'll just do a different brown. Use a bit of water. There we go. It's just like that. Yeah, Knight's Tale was kind of a comic book. It's a bit like watching 300, isn't it? Yeah, 300 makes no bones about it. It's touche, Rich. Oh, what was the Crusader one with Orlando Bloom? That was terrible as well, wasn't it? And they started on the beach, and all the guys are holding the bows at full stretch for about 10 minutes. Kingdom of Heaven. Is that it? Kingdom of Heaven, I think. been some pretty bad historical films. Do you think Mel Gibson hates everyone? I don't know. He's definitely trying to rewrite history of the world, isn't he? It's a shame because he started off so well with Mad Max. Strange. Go back with this different style of brown just to break some of the other stuff up. So we've come up to 2 hours, so let's have a quick check in where we are and how much we got to do. So that's major colours wise, we've got a bit of work to do on the red. Now we've got a layer of flesh to put on. While we're talking this through, we hit some greedy gold in. Oh, yeah. They actually got real bikers to, who had such a limited budget, didn't they? They actually got real bikers just to ride their bikes around. They had one of the Z900s in a bike shop near me for years. It was up near Marlborough. And it actually had the logbook to prove that it was in the movie, which is kind of cool. It's just kind of lucky it survived the movie, really. And that was back in the early 90s. They had that. Was it Lindy Page that was hired as a yeah. I think it was Lindy Page that was hired as an expert on one of the, I think it was one of the King Arthur films that they remade. Oh, I just thought of another good one. Are you ready, Rich? Are you braced? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Kevin Costner. And you can pull that film out of a nosedive if you say Alan Rickman enough. He took it very serious. What a great version of the Sheriff of Nottingham. Apparently stayed in character when he was walking around the town centre as well, and story goes he walked past a kid that was being told off by his mum and said he had to carry on being naughty on order of the Sheriff of Nottingham. I don't know if that's true or not. I choose to believe it because why wouldn't I? Oh, when that come out, my missus called it Dancing with the Wolves. Oh, yes. What was? Yes, I would take that back. Yeah, I think Alan Rickman just makes it worth watching, not on his own, doesn't he? It's strange, isn't it, how a film can be saved by one performance, isn't it? It's like Heath Ledger in the Batman film. Just stunning. The film is actually pretty pants, really, but he's just brilliant. Many, many, many Rutger Hauer films. Because he was in some right pants, wasn't he? But some of the cult stuff, cult classics that there we go. We slipped into a movie channel for a moment there. Like we used to. We used to do it all the time. Oh, Lady Hawk. Mm. Yeah, good movie. There we go. So now we start working into some of the colours. Let's do the flesh first. So we go to agate skin. Worst film armor. Excalibur? Maybe? Very shiny. Like the movie. Quite cool. But then again, it's allowed to, isn't it? Because it's kind of fancy, I suppose. Don't know. Do we give it a pass for that? I don't know. So we switch to a insane detail brush for this. We're going to highlight it. So we're going to go across the forehead, down the nose, hit the cheekbones, chin, top lip. Just little dots. Lower cheekbone, bit of that jawline. Yeah, I think so. I think if films like fantasy, you can have the pass, can't it? So if like Conan or what was the one with the guy with the three swords? Well, that was a good one. I can't remember what that was called. Oh, it's gone now. It slipped back into the dim and distant past. Yeah, some of it was definitely knitted, wasn't it? So nose, cheeks, lips, forehead. Picking out the areas I can see, and the fingers. We just want those top. Remember, we've put the flesh bead paint on there, so we've kind of got our recesses covered. Again, it's fancy though, isn't it? It's Lord of the Rings, so it gets a pass. So I mean, if you're hypercritical, there was a lot of biker levers in it, wasn't there? But hey. Highlighting the nose, the chin. The top part of the hand there. Anyway, it's going to catch the light. So leave the fingers that are underneath. Yeah, so if you probably know, I'm trying to have a chat with the Beastie Boys about doing some different videos. I'm going to be trying to do some more. When I first started, I was doing some short videos on like how to paint this or how to paint that, or how to dry brush, how to video. Perhaps I should call them how-to videos. And as we've gone on, we've kind of progressed it into just doing this live paint along, which kind of, I think, puts it all in nice perspective. So even though like people will look for a how to paint chainmail, you need to know how it goes into the process. So I'll be trying to do more how-tos. But I'll still obviously want to keep the live paint alongs going as well, as do they. But because I only have so many hours to work in a week, I might, well, we're running a few ideas at the moment whether to do a live every other week or something like that, to give me a chance to make the other videos, or something along those lines. But I should keep you guys informed there either way. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that I don't do as I paint along, but it's handy for people, I think, if they want a quick reference of, you know, we're using that example of how to paint chainmail, rather than having to watch through my whole video that's 2 or 3 hours long. They've got a quick, concise 5-minute, this is how you do it. And then I think that will work quite well. It just means, unfortunately, you can't do everything. So it might mean you need to forego a Friday evening every so often. So we shall see. We shall see. Let's jump to Dragon Red. Then our base colour, we'll skip one. I think it's nice to do live because it keeps everyone in touch and everyone can ask questions. Ideally, if we could do both. That'd be awesome. But it's good that Griffin B still support the channel by sending us stuff to paint and stuff. They're committed to us, so it's nice being able to, you know, spread the word about ecorcheurs and stuff, because, you know, obviously it supports them and Dr. Bob. He was a decent chap and really knows his shit. I'm gonna stop saying that, but he does know his So we've got that thin red. I'm just working around, building it up a little bit. Yeah, I think the how-tos make sense. As you said, cubes, I can build up quite a good library, especially if I label them how to. Perhaps if I call them Pirate Riches how to. And I can put them in a. I need to sort through the videos on here anyway, so you've got like a lot of lives on there now. Yeah, I want to keep the unboxings on Pirate Rich Plays as much as I can as well. Hopefully we get time to do some bat reps on it. We've been playing in our little tiny bit of spare time. We've been playing Aliens from Gale Force 9. It's nice and easy to grab. I'll put that on there. A battle report for Juggler as well. Maybe a how to play Juggler. There is a couple online already. Yeah. Well, all quiet then. I was like the dog. I was watching the car turn around outside. That's all the red. I noticed I missed one there. Arm guards. Get it while I have the brown out. Oh no, I did get one. Okay. Let's do eyeballs. So let's get to do the eyeballs. Go for Psycho. Get some matte white out. So let's get the load of insane sort of Psycho brush out. Okay. Yeah, I like doing it. I've got a customer that doesn't like them being done, so he says, "Can you not paint them?" But which I find kind of hard to do. But you don't have to do eyes. But as I said to people, it's a bloody good chance to practice freehand. So if you can paint eyeballs, you can do freehand. Tiffs as well you can get to. That's an added bonus. And the sculptor paints teeth in as well, you got to paint them. Yeah. It's like the bit in the Matrix when his mouth gets covered over in it. It's all about locking your arms up first. Make sure you keep that brush nice and clean. Take the black dots in. There we go. They're good faces on these front backbenches. Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at the when I opened up the care package from Griffin Beast earlier. I've got the retinues in there to do. And I was just looking at them. They're just so good. Really looking forward to getting stuck in. And hopefully I'll get them all the retinues painted for in the next couple of weeks, ready for the show. And look at that. He's got a cracking face. Shame he got a finger missing, but as I said, that's not down to them, that's down to me. They did offer to replace it. He's already lost one thing there. He didn't care. So let's put the brighter red on. It's pure red. Oh, done 2.5 hours. I'm just going to go down our highlight points now. So we've got there. The main red then. Let's get these polished off now. I've been painting a I bought the Saracens 4-point starter box from Beasties this week as well for somebody. That's one of the commissions I'm working on. I nearly finished it. I'm on the half guard, but what a great box. The Griffin Beast plastic 4-pointer. I just got to say, I have to give it a shout out whilst I'm doing this. It's this one here. Look at this. Age of Crusade 4-point starter. That's the miniatures on the back of the box. They paint up really, really nice. It's one of the warriors that on horseback I've finished. They paint up really nicely. And it's a really good way of getting yourself. And you get, even though it says you get 8, they're in extras, so you get 10 of the foot ones. And you get like 9 of each of the things. One's a warlord, and I've made one into a musician. So you get sort of 4 extra miniatures in there, which is cool. So check that one out if you need some Saracens. Who doesn't need some Saracens? I'm just going to go back in with this red. See those highest highs. The blends on. I thinned the paint, so the blend should be quite good. Yeah, I just realised I usually go through what I've been doing this week, didn't I? And I thought I haven't. Sorry, I remember what else I've done loads this week. Yeah, the web, that took a day. The web, sorting out the web page. So I can start trying to get some more stuff up there. I've got loads of all sorts to go up there. The rest has gone off, and then some more Lord of the Ringsy stuff for someone. More Judge Dredd stuff. I've been very busy this week. Okay. Red on there. Red on there. for the highest highlights on these reds. There we go, just letting it dry, and a bit of extra red on there. Let's get some highlights into the white. So we started with Great Hall Grey. So let's go to jump to Brain Matter Beige. We make sure your brush is really clean. Just load the medium into there. Just hitting the high points. I've done a double jump on that to give us a bit of, give it a bit of help rather than having to put a wash or anything in there. It's going to give it a nice kind of, almost want that I don't want it to blend very well, if you see what I mean. I want the blends to be visible. But usually you're doing the opposite, aren't you? Yeah, that's it. Does that make sense? I think it does. I'm not touching any of the original grey white that we're putting in the valleys. We're just hitting the peaks. We've got the beige out. Let's do that lacing at the front of his tunic. There we go. Remember when we're doing that blends, we're just hitting the highest ridges and leaving the valleys. And the feathers, we're hitting the top part, leaving the bottom part. Anywhere where there's shadow like under his chin there, we're not going there. I'm trying to put this beige over the points where the daylight are catching. can see it because it does glow up badly on the lighting. So my apologies if you can't see it. Hopefully you'll see it on the photographs. I can see photographs properly, I just don't. I choose not to. So put it in there. So, speed paint pens. Have they sped us up? I don't know. I was going to set up a video to time myself. Personally, because the way I'm working. Can they speed you up? Yes, I think so. I think the choice has to be made whether you want to be sped up, because I think if you speed yourself up with those, you won't get quite a nice as a result. But if you're trying to get some bog standard troops onto the table quick, I think it's a definite yes. Does that kind of make sense? I think so. I mean, that green is a good example. We've not done anything else to that green, and I don't think we need to. Same as that blue. Is the red better than the blue? Is the red better than the green? I'd say if you look closely on this red, the red is better. Does it matter? Now that's the $1 million question, I think. Does it matter? That's for you to decide, I think. I really do. Because let's do some strong tone. Just on the bows and stuff. So if you try and use speed paints for the whole lot, you've got to keep going back in with them anyway. But you can get a good finish. I think it really just goes down to... Oh, ahoy, how we doing, mate? I was just discussing the new speed paint pens. And which are interesting. I don't think it's so much the pens. I think it's just the fact that it's speed paint in them that makes them different. I think the pens are a little bit gimmicky, maybe. I don't know. I don't think they're... Yeah. They're fun. I've enjoyed playing around with them. As I said, personally, I think they kind of don't speed me up at all, in the same way as speed paint doesn't. I think Rachel's video the other day showed the view of somebody not painted before with them. And I think it gave her extra confidence that she could paint a miniature, which is good. I don't think they'll be around for long. Personally, I think people will get them, play with them, enjoy them. I'm not saying they're not worth the money, because I think they are. I think you're going to have fun with them. Gateway for youngsters painting, maybe. I'd rather give them a brush. And then give them that later, but what else can I say about them, really? That's about it, really. Like I've done 3 videos on them. I don't think I can. You can. So I've done it. I'll grab the miniature in a minute. I've done it on a plastic Viking. I thought, can I make? How good can I make it look with just using the pens? And you can do it. You can make them look very good just using pens. But I don't know if it's faster. And not even if it's. Usually I say, well, it's a tool in your box. You know what I mean? When I talk about stuff like airbrushes or speed paint, I say it's a tool in your box. I don't think it is, because if you've got the speed paint color, you've got the pen, but you've got more precise pen because you're using a brush. So I don't really see it as an argument. I'm glad they've made them. Yeah. Do I feel that they've helped these miniatures tonight? Well, I don't think the metallic was much quicker doing it with the pen than I do it with a brush. So that's, I'll say the green. I could have done that, but I don't think the pens are worth it. Sorry, Army Painter. I like them, and I still think people should buy them to play with them. That's the weird thing. But as long as you understand that they're not going to change the world, they're not going to light the world alight for you. Yeah, that's as far as I can go with it, really. And I think other people will have different kind of outlooks on them, depending on what they want to get from them. If that makes sense. So I'm just going to get a bit of pure white, and I'm just going to highlight some of this white right out, because I want to. No other reason than I want some very bright whites. Yeah, I was just, yeah, it's weird. I'm not 100% convinced by speed paints, really, because I water all my Fanatic paints down, and I prefer using them a lot of times. But there's certain speed paints I think are work, but as I said, it all depends on your workflow, doesn't it? As Cooper says, if he enjoys taking his time, why would he want to rush? So they're not a product for him anyway. Very interesting, all these new things, newfangled things. Remember back in my day using enamel brush and any brush you could get hold of. So I started wondering if they'd be better on like bigger miniatures, like tanks and stuff like that. But again, you use a bigger brush. I keep trying to talk myself into. Luxury. There were 27 of us, lived in a tube box in the middle of the motorway. We'd work 27 hours at mill. When we got home, my dad would murder us in cold blood. Dance around our grave singing hallelujah. We used to dream about living in a lake. Oh, you gotta love Monty Python. That goes to proof point really is I missed the hammer, and rather go back to the pen that I used originally, I've gone back to grabbing some gunmetal out because I don't want to get any paint on anywhere else. I think that for me says a lot. I think, didn't you? Yes. I think it's nice though that I love what Army Painter do because they do try. They're innovators, aren't they? You know what I mean? They are trying. And I mean, there's going to be hits and misses. But I don't think that's a hit or a miss, that one, because it's maybe a miss for me, but I think it might be a hit for, say, if my sons were, when I first was teaching them how to paint, I definitely would have had some on the table alongside that. I'd have got them to use brushes as well. And I could picture at a convention like Joe Bad Squiddo always does like a paint along or colouring in. Yes, absolutely. That's what keeps drawing me back to them, I think. It's very tactile picking them up and knowing that you can paint a miniature without using a brush. It's yeah. That's why I don't want to be too harsh on them, I think, because they are a real fun product. You know, they are a real fun product. I mean, that set was, I think there was 10 in it, and that was £42. So they're not cheap buying them that way, but if you were buying one for under a fiver, you could buy a couple just to play with. but I think that's worth it. Well, if you look on Pirate Rich Plays and have a look at the unboxing, the colours you get in that 10 are very good. So I thought about the colours. They've got a brilliant bunch of painters working with them now, and it's showing. I mean, the Fanatics range is pretty cool. And the John Blanche sets just fill some holes in the Fanatics range, so that's cool. We're just doing the lap of honour. I'm just checking that they're all done. We don't want to do any more to them. These are for our ecorcheurs. These are going to be for the English retinue. So I'll do an unboxing of the retinues I've got. They're the ones, I think I've got the English and the French from the Kickstarter, which is still live. Have I mentioned that? Yeah, if you go to Griffin Beast and check out the Kickstarter, you'll be able to see the and the retinues are all front rank miniatures, so they're pretty cool. Well, very cool. I think they're the best for this period out there, I think. Basically because I like their faces. Yeah, they're definitely a confidence builder. It's I say, watch if you can watch the video I put up with Rachel painting them. Literally, she sat down at the desk, and never have picked up a paintbrush before for a miniature. Yeah, and it's interesting watching. I try and move the camera around because obviously she moves around a bit where I concentrate on keeping it still. But if you don't get too seasick watching it, it's worth a watch because it's very interesting. I've watched it a couple of times. Let's have a quick look at these then. These are 3 hours we spent tonight on 8 miniatures, which I think ain't bad. And I'll put the tufts on in the morning and the lacquer and do the ordinary photographs. Watch all the white glow up like crazy in the light box. Even though it's diffused, I might paint. Yeah, I might paint his studs in a minute. I'll do that off camera. You don't want to watch me paint all those studs. I just thought if I do this, then I can grab. He's got to do the studs as well. Like that one. Right, let's grab that Viking and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so that's one I've done just using the speed paint markers. So that's the kind of thing you're going to get. The only brush on there is the shield and the flesh tone. So I did some where I went back in and did a bit more work on them. So these are still very much speed paint. Now I grabbed the Viking guy. Now this Viking is, I thought how well can I paint something with the markers? Now this is just markers only, apart from the design. That's a brush, obviously. So what I did was, it's like the flesh tone. I put the flesh that we usually on, the Crusader flesh. Then when it was dry, I went back over it with what was it, a bony matter or something. It's a very light brown. So I started using the pens as washes, if you know what I mean. So it's like the red on there is the red from the pen, and then I went over it with the orange, and then I touched over the top of it with yellow. Do you get what I mean? So I was kind of painting with the thing, and I think that stands up to what you would do with a brush, but I don't think it was any quicker. That's the thing. And if I'd spent that much time with the brushes, I think I might have made it. I don't think I could have made that particular miniature better. But I did the same with this, yeah. So it's like, if you look at the metal on there, you can see that it's got like a wash over it. And what I did was I used the silver pen, and then for a wash I went over it with the brown pen. Now you run the danger of contaminating the tips on the pens doing it this way. I did the same there. I kind of went over. So you can, but I don't think then you're using them as, yeah, all those were just mainly markers. So that's why I think I've thrown the cat among the pigeon with myself. I just don't think, like Cooper said, I don't think they're for me. But yeah, and you get, so 10, then they send you the replacement tips as well. It's just literally, you bop them in. I've noticed some of them are crushed already. That's, I think, where they've been going. Right, I shall stop going on about markers, because you're probably sick of me going on about markers. That was the Age of Chivalry warriors with bows from Griffin Beast, and I'm using them for ecorcheurs, which check out the Kickstarter for. I'm saying this again and again and again because I want to push it for Dr. Bob. And watch out for some videos this week on the retinues, because I'll be doing like a unboxing of them. I'll try and do that tomorrow, probably Sunday actually now. And yeah, so I'll get these lacquered up tomorrow morning as usual and put them up on the website, and you can decide if how good that green and the blue is, because that's just pure marker on those, and you can decide yourself. Rightio then, chaps, I shall leave it there. Thank you again for joining me. It's been a journey. Yeah, cheers, and guys, and don't forget, if you're watching this back tomorrow and you've not subscribed and liked and hit the notification bell, if you do that, it helps a lot. Don't forget to check out our other site, Pirate Rich Plays, and find us on social media. And then we'll see you soon. Yeah, cheers, cubes. Cheers, in guys, and we'll see you next time. Have a good weekend.